All right, people, we're going to get started in a second here. I've actually got, I met a guy out in San Fran when I was at the Litecoin conference, and he's a part of this bill that just passed today in California. So we're going to have him come on and talk to us about this. Very exciting news to relate to you guys. And just so happened, I was just talking to this guy, so I'm going to have him come on. His name is Joseph Ferrell. He's part of CageChain. So we're going to talk to him in a second. He's going to be calling in. Hope you guys are doing well today. Mark Allen, Shalom, what's good, baby? Joy, Smooth Talking Hank, Doc of the Bay, Universal Vibes TV, Fud Killer. Hope you guys are doing well. The number, let me get that on the screen for you guys. Go ahead and call in, get in queue. But like I said, we got my man Joseph Ferrell that's going to come on and talk about this article here. This governor passes 2 bills in favor of blockchain. This guy has been working on this, he and his partner, for a while now, and it passed today. So congrats to him. We're going to talk about that. Also, I do have another article that talks about most of the Bitcoin, 55% of it is held in just 1% of the wallets. We'll take a look at that research or study. And then from there, we just kind of freestyle it. You guys call in, we can talk about whatever. So just hold tight, people. All right, people, we're going to get started here. Hope everyone is doing well today. It is 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for me. I know some of you, it's morning still. But another good day, nice outside. But I'm here with you guys. I'm trying to pick the best time to do these here. So let's see if this time works better for more people. All right, people, let me fade this music back and we're going to get cracking. Again, I hope you guys are all right today. Long night for me. I was up late. I'm still trying to get my sleep pattern together from being on the West Coast. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the first one is a bill that the governor of California just passed. And I actually have the guy who assisted in these two bills being passed. He's going to jump on the line here shortly. So I'm excited about that. Ricky Whitted, Space Goat, Irvin Bryant, what's good, people? So let's go ahead and get into the roll of things here. We've got market cap at $221 billion. Bitcoin's dominance is slowly dropping 51.4%. And I haven't even looked at the markets this morning, to be honest with you. It looks like we're kind of flat in the last hour, 24 hours mixed, mostly to the downside. Let's see what this chart is looking like. So yeah, I was a little concerned because we did drop below the 6,600 area yesterday or the day before, and then we tried to pop up and we didn't pass it, guys. Still having resistance at 6,800. It's I don't know, man. I guess as long as we're staying above this trend line that I drew, we should be good, I would say. So you know, we may see some more bouncing off of that until we actually may start a pennant here all the way out to the 6,800 and finally break up and test that 7,300 area. So I'll just keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at this first article. It is out of AMB Crypto. It says here, Governor of California passes two bills in favor of blockchain. On September 28th, Jerry Brown, the governor of California, passed two law bills supporting the development and adoption of the blockchain technology. A press release of the same stated that the state of California has recognized the potential of the blockchain technology in empowering businesses, which will further aid a huge economic edge to the world's fifth largest economy. The official press release also stated that California, a global leader in technology, takes a giant leap forward with two new laws that define and recognize the emerging blockchain technology, empowering businesses to use it for records and promote blockchain research and public-private partnerships, whatever that means. The blockchain bills are called AB 2658 and SB 838 and have been drafted by Ian Caldron and Sin, respectively. I don't know who Sin is. Ian, an assembly member, updated the Uniform Electronic Transactions Act with the definition of the blockchain technology to include it into the law. The bill further suggests that a group is created that will work on the regulatory frameworks and represent the blockchain industry in California. Goes on to say here, the director of the Blockchain Advocacy Coalition also mentioned the potential of the industry. She said that blockchain has the capacity to propel the progress of other industries in the future as well. In her words, she said here, blockchain has the potential to revolutionize many industries in the near future. It is vital that California recognizes and supports this industry as an economic driver in our state. She further added that these are common sense bills that send the message that California supports innovation and the blockchain industry. Governor Brown and Senator Hertzberg said here. So it goes on to say the Blockchain Advocacy Coalition, or BAC, which is a blockchain regulatory body, has also stated to be working since started to be working since earlier this spring to support the two bills on being passed. The body has testified several committee hearings and actively participated in a blockchain education event in Sacramento by meeting with 32 legislative offices on that day. The members of the BAC also sent letters of support to the government and made many efforts in connecting industry experts with legislators. So that's good news, huh? Very good, right? Make YouTube great again. Said very good. I think so. Though I don't know. Like, do we need their acceptance since it's decentralized? But hey, I mean, I guess it's a good move in the right direction for those who want to like follow by the law here. Rich says Cali has also has Rep Sherman, who says BTC is a BS scam. Shalom said Bitcoin can still hit 30K by the end of the year. Come on, man. Come on, Shalom. That's crazy, man. Bitcoin's not hitting 30K by the end of the year. I don't think so. 18,000, 16,000, maybe. I can see that. But not 30, bro. That's like what? Is that that's 500x. That's 500x. So let's see if I got my guy here on the line. You guys can go ahead and call in as well. I do have him on the line, I believe. So let me plug him in right now. Let me see. I think it's this number. Jason Ferrell, how are you?
Joseph Ferrell, yes sir.
Joseph, sorry about that, man. I'm so used to calling you just blood? Joe. Good, man. I'm good, man. So I've got Joseph Ferrell on the line, guys. Joseph, tell us about you first, and then your company. You've got a nonprofit, right, called CageChain. Am I correct?
Well, it's a for-profit called CageChain.
Okay.
And, well, me personally, I have a background in traditional finance. I used to read markets, the traditional financial markets, just like you did on your show just now, and used to give my own opinion on the traditional financial markets on the equity side of things. So it's really exciting to hear that you're doing the same thing. But yeah, no, I have a background in the traditional side. I was a formerly fully securities registered investment advisor, built up a book of business over several years. And that same firm I was with invited me to work as a trader on the trading desk at that firm. And I traded equities, options, and mutual funds for some time. And pretty much left the industry after you know, taking on a whole bunch of experience to earn my MBA. And even while I was on the trading desk at the time, people will come to me and say, hey, what do you know about Bitcoin? And there was nothing I can say about Bitcoin because it was unregulated, and in a extremely regulated environment that I was in, it was kind of taboo to even talk about, look at, research, even to do anything with. But after leaving the industry, while I was earning my MBA, I decided to look deeper into Bitcoin and digital assets and blockchain technology, and even authored a paper on the subject as well. And after completing my master's degree program, I continued down the rabbit hole into the crypto industry, and founded CageChain. CageChain started out as a community opportunity for friends and family to learn about blockchain technology and digital assets. And we pretty much started at a friend's house. And we'll have dinner, we'll have 20 people in a room. We'll have these discussions around blockchain and digital assets. And that graduated to friends and family telling other friends and family. And before you knew it, myself and our co-founder, Kamal Hubbard, were at the head of a community of folks that are looking to us for some of the best information and the best services related to the blockchain industry. And
nice.
So now we've been around for, yeah.
So tell us about, I've got your site up now. Tell us about this new bill that just passed, and what, when I was reading the article, and it was kind of ambiguous about how these bills are going to actually help. Like, give us the meat and potatoes on these two bills that you guys just were able to get passed.
Good. So, yeah, I am a member of the Blockchain Advocacy Coalition, and we have, like the article states, and I don't have that particular article. So if you could send me that one,
sure,
that would be great.
No doubt.
I am familiar with with articles that are out there right now, but
okay.
Hold on 1 second here.
Sure.
But so I've been working closely with the Blockchain Advocacy Coalition to create and engage with lawmakers, but to create legislation that is in our favor. Us
Gotcha.
being our favor being the blockchain industry.
Mm-hmm.
And what the culture of people outside the industry have been approaching this industry as, like, I don't know what it is. All I hear are bad things about it.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is to stay away. And I came across Ali Medina, who is the vice mayor of Emeryville in the Bay Area, here in the Bay Area, California. And she's actually the head of the Blockchain Advocacy Coalition. And us at CageChain have joined with them to engage with lawmakers to, and Kamal, the other founder of CageChain, just sent me a text saying he sends his regards, that he can't make it. I asked him if he wants to be on too.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, tell Kamal I said
it.
hey.
But I'll tell him that's when he said hey. But yeah, so she had put in place some things to engage with lawmakers in Sacramento to, let them know that, when it comes to blockchain and the digital asset industry, what needs to happen is a way for us to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to happen is this assumption of us doing this whole wrong type of lifestyle, this whole going against the grain is not, it's not that it's not acceptable. The problem is that it's all new. It's all new. It's never been done like before. There has never been this much activity or since the internet around something like this, and no one knew how to handle it. So the only thing about it is just new. It's not wrong. It's new. So we took it upon ourselves to go to Sacramento and engage with lawmakers. And two individuals have put their staff, put their resources up to bat for the blockchain industry. And those individuals are Ian Calderon, just like you see in the article, and Senator Bob Hertzberg. And how I relate to this, I was Senator Bob Hertzberg's expert witness through several Senate committee hearings. So he and I attended a couple Senate committee hearings to discuss the issue of the way the blockchain can be used, or the way it's not being used, but to what's more important to know is about Assembly Bill 2658. Once we talk about
so yeah, I'm looking at Assembly Bill 2658.
Right.
So tell us, like,
Right.
I'm a businessman, so I'm a business guy.
Right.
Help me understand, if I lived in Cali, like, how does that directly help me or affect me?
Right.
Yeah, kind of explain that
Right.
Assembly Bill.
Okay, so Assembly Bill 2658 creates a statewide working group, and a working group is. Are you familiar with IEEE?
IEEE. Yeah. Yes.
IEEE sets standards.
It's like an ISO standard type of.
Yeah, but it stands. But they set standards and opinions as it relates to the way technology is used and implemented. So the idea was to create a similar statewide working group that creates standards and opinions on the way the blockchain is used. And this being a first step creates a definition within the regulatory framework of what a blockchain is, blockchain is, how should it be used, how the public should consume this type of information, and that's pretty much it, you know. And then there's going to be a group of people that are going to say this is good, this is bad, we have an opinion on this, we don't have an opinion on that.
Gotcha.
That's the first reason for 2658.
Okay. So what about SB 838? What is that one about?
So Senate Bill 838 makes an adjustment to California Articles of Incorporation.
Okay.
So you're when you register your business and you distribute equity to the founding team, this provision, this bill, now it's a law, but this law creates a provision that allows businesses to transfer stock through the blockchain.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice. I like that. That one sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, right. So
are we going to see, with that bill being passed, are we going to see more companies start doing their STOs in the state of California?
Well, we have yet to see what's going to happen in the future. However, businesses that are dealing with the blockchain in terms of transferring equity, there's a strong possibility that they will, utilize the blockchain in various ways. And for a STO to go off, in some form or fashion, in California, it's probably on the table to talk about. It's now on the table to talk about, something to consider, and something that I think California is in a stronger position to create, more jobs here, create more tax revenue. And the whole idea was, because there's over $3 billion worth of blockchain businesses in California. And the idea is to keep these businesses here, because businesses are going overseas. Businesses are going to Malta, Singapore.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Virgin Islands and stuff like that.
I'm all, I'm not the real pro government intervention type of guy, but I think if we can get bills like this passed, at least we can get some of that talent, some of those companies to come back to the United States to organize and form their blockchain companies. I think that's important. I don't want to see us just have a mass exodus out of the states because of the regulatory framework. It's just not in our favor. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
that's cool, man.
Absolutely,
that's cool. So yeah, man, I just wanted to have Joseph Ferrell, guys, come on again. He's from CageChain, and this company, this for-profit company, helped with getting this bill passed. out in California. These two bills passed today. So that's congratulations to you and your company.
Thank you.
And yeah, hope to hear more news from you in the future.
You will.
All right, brother.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you got it. Call on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood.
CB, Mark Allen here.
Hey, Mark. Finally got you to call in. Good. I'm glad. How you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good. Good.
So
talk some VERI.
Let's do it. So Veritaseum, what's going on with them and Reggie? I know we talked about it in quite detail actually last week. But yeah, let's talk, man. What's on your mind about VERI? I know you're a bag holder, correct?
I am. VERI was my first ICO. So I kind of cut my teeth.
You hit it out the ballpark.
Yeah, and I didn't load in because it was my first. I didn't even know what I was doing. But once I got on board and I studied what Reggie was doing, I spent the next month buying on Ether Delta. I just went crazy. I figured it out. Yeah. Nice. That's probably one of the main reasons I like VERI is because of Reggie. Proven track record on Wall Street, right?
Very true.
Good call.
Absolutely. No doubt. And I've been following Reggie Middleton for years, as I stated last week. Ultra Coin days, even before that, CNBC, even his days when I asked Max Kaiser when I was kicking it with him down in Miami earlier this year. I'm like, what's going on with you and Reggie? Like, I don't see Reggie on your show anymore. And he's like, it's nothing. It's just he just hasn't been on. But Reggie knows his stuff, man. He definitely knows his stuff.
He does. And a couple more reasons I like him. I'll save the best one for last. But I'm a longtime IT guy, and I've watched their development team. They're really good at Agile. These guys deliver. Multiple releases every week, week in, week out. I've been beta testing the Vader for more than a year and watching it evolve. It's been ready for a long time. It's been ready since at least January. But,
so the Vader, who is Reggie targeting? What's Reggie's target market for the Vader?
The Vader really is, I think, probably one core piece of his strategy to disintermediate Wall Street. What it's really doing, it's sort of a mini hedge fund. Makes it easy to really open your own hedge fund. You don't need to know really much of anything. The key is it's built off all their research. It's not just a dumb basket of in one of the rooms this week, they were talking about Coinbase's. They put like a basket together, a group of coins, but it's just by market cap, top 5 or, top whatever. But what the Vader does, Reggie's financial analysts feed it research, and then the Vader goes out and buys. When the asset is in buy range, it'll go out and buy it. So it's really kind of bottom line. It makes it easy for anybody, small or large, to come in, open a bucket of digital assets without even really doing the research, but filling it up with high quality assets. Without, you don't have to go to the half a dozen different exchanges and figure it out. You don't gotta, do research and hope for the best. You put your F in and your VERI, and it opens a bucket automatically on your behalf. So I'm really big on the Vader. It's a wonderful piece of technology. It's just been held up by the regulators in the U.S. So
Okay, so let's talk about that. Kind of segues me into my next question, and my concern are the regulators. Like, that's my concern with it here in the States. Does Reggie have initiatives outside of the States? And if so, that means that U.S. citizens won't be able to participate, correct, with that service until it's fully kind of regulated and given the green light by the U.S. guys, right?
He does have, you are right, he has multiple outside the U.S. opportunities going. Mm-hmm. And what he's basically doing is he's not waiting around. He opened up subsidiaries and he did the legal research. I don't know all the details, but he made, they're separate companies but connected somehow. But he's opening in Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, and Bermuda, and another location to be named. And what he's doing, he's putting the Vader in these locations and, basically operating under their regulations. Now, I don't know what that means for U.S. Citizens, if they can get in on them or not.
I would assume not. I would assume not.
I'd assume not too, but
that's fine. Like, the U.S. is not the world, and I totally understand that. And especially with blockchain, it opens up and just allows the playing field to be accessible to so many more people. My thing is, it's just like I'm trying to figure out where fair value is with this token, and as I stated last week, my only concern was like when Reggie signs these deals, those deals are coming out of the 98 million, not the 2 million floating. And so that's where, I don't know where fair value is for the token. And that goes for most tokens as well. It's just not VERI. This is a new asset class, this whole crypto asset stuff. So that's where my concern with VERI is. It's not in Reggie at all or the product. It's just when it's go time, when he actually starts getting clients, where does that look like? What does that look like for the price of VERI in real terms? So
yeah, that's the $1 million question, right? And I don't think anybody knows. But that really hits on why my biggest reason why I like VERI is, if you look at some really, I think, strong tokens like PPT or PayPal, they've got a solid business case, a use case that's what they're building around. The thing I like about VERI is there's not one use case. There's probably not even dozens. There's probably hundreds of use cases, many that we don't even know exist yet. I mean, everything, he's done some simple ones like the VE Gold tokens are a good example. That went from 0 to full production in just a few months. They really spun those stable, marketing them stable coins, but without having to do, tether like monkey business. They just base it on gold. I'm a gold holder too, and that sort of pains me to think, well, it's stable because that means the price don't go anywhere, but that's sort of the reality of it. But that's just one use case of it, right? They're working on another one as an example. You remember the hotel rumor, right? Sort of.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
But there's actually a real estate use case they're working on. Reggie tweeted about it. He said he's got identified a portfolio of 8 hotels that they can potentially tokenize, and they're actually waiting for a go ahead to move ahead on that. So there's that. There was the Ethiopian bond. There's the multiple different Exchanges want to use him. I think, he's an opportunist, but he's a little guy. He's just, the Vader needs some initial traction to get going.
Right. So that's where, where's the traction going to come? I'm just curious about that, and I would love to have him back on the show. Once he does get some traction, he can kind of give us some examples of the partnerships that he's gotten. Again, I think it's nothing against the idea. Many of the things that Reggie talks about goes over my head, though. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not like I'm not a novice at this finance stuff, but that guy is on another level for sure.
Yeah.
So I always like to listen to people who are smarter than me in those.
He's a smart dude. I hope you do interview him again, CB. That first one was great. You do a good job with him.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely have him back on. So,
all right.
Yeah.
One last question, non-very related. Did you get your PayCent debit card yet?
I never. I don't think I ever got it. I ordered it, but I never got it. That happened to me with Zappo years ago as well. I had it sent to my business address.
Real? It never arrived? Oh,
No.
Yeah. Well, hit me offline. I'll help you follow up, or hit.
Yeah, no, I'll follow up with them because I forgot about it. I ordered it and I forgot to I haven't gotten anything. So yeah, I need to follow up with that. Is that what you're using? You enjoy it?
Yeah, it's working pretty good for me.
Okay.
I had a lot of doubts up front just because of all the other false starts, and but it's hitting 2 of the 3 requirements with some bonus. It works great in ATMs. I was skeptical as anything, but it works in most ATMs. I just use local credit unions, cheapest fees.
Right. So what's the most you can draw out on a daily basis? What's your max?
$2,500 a day.
Oh,
$50K
wow.
a month. Oh yeah,
man. Okay, that's great. That's great.
High limit. The reason I'm skeptical, which really turned into the best feature of all, it's not MasterCard or Visa. It's China Union Pay.
Gotcha.
And so, Union Pay, it's headquartered in China. These guys have the bank relationship. I won't go into any detail, but let's just say they're not cozy with the IRS. So you can draw from that whatever you want.
Gotcha.
It's a good card. At this point, it's harder to find places that don't take it than that do. And the last thing I'm waiting for, they're working on, and for security reasons, they've been taking their time, but they haven't enabled yet online spending. So that's the third thing I've been waiting for. They're saying later this year.
So it's accepted anywhere Visa, MasterCard, you said, or no?
No, it's accepted wherever China Union Pay is, but also what I found out is they work off the Discover network in the U.S.
Oh.
So if anywhere there's Discover, and most places I go, it doesn't even list Union Pay. I don't even.
Yeah, I've never even seen that. Yeah. Yeah. So
I just try it. I even tried it in the post office yesterday. It even worked there. It was awesome.
Cool. So again, the name of that card for some of the members in the chat room, it's PayCent.
PayCent. Yeah.
PayCent.
Yeah, PayCent. And PayCent.com. There's an app for both Apple and Google. Download the app. Order the card right from the app. They send them out every couple weeks. I
don't know why, man. I ordered mine. I didn't do it through the app. I did it on online. And it was about a month and a half ago.
That's probably the problem. Download the. You'll have to follow up with them, but yeah.
Okay,
their current process is through the app.
Okay.
Yeah, right on. Okay.
Sweet,
thanks,
Mark,
Reggie.
man. Thanks for calling in, man, and appreciate your time. And definitely, we'll have Reggie on and follow up when he has some milestones he's ready to announce to more people. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Look forward to that. Thanks. Keep up the good work.
Okay, brother. Take care.
All right, brother. Aloha.
All righty. All right. So that was Mark from the Webbot room. Bill, yes, I do accept Bitcoin donations. I do. Can't tell you I can't just give you an address right off the top of my head, but I'll have to get that to you. Appreciate that. So guys, call in if you want to chat about anything. 669-900-6833. The code is 169-861-119. And just to kind of double back on that, the bills that were passed, I think that's good news, especially the second one that kind of allows companies to issue what it sounds like to be stock, but in a blockchain format. That may be good because believe me, you're going to see a lot of companies flock to California to do that and issue stock. And, you know, honestly, that is a real way. The real way to raise funds is to issue stock. That way, at least the individuals that have that piece of or STO, they call them, at least those individuals have a piece of the company and not just a utility token, right? So I can see that really blowing up and doing well in the future. Nathan says, how do I call in from another country like Europe? Good question. There are, what country are you in, Nathan? Let me know and I'll try to get you that number. 12 says EOS. You know, I was looking at, I actually did a review on a company, right? An ICO. They're not ICO. They're actually just already up and running. Callisto. I don't know if you guys saw that. And in their white paper, they mentioned some of the other possibilities or alternatives for them housing their documents for individuals on the network. And they mentioned EOS storage. And I've touched on EOS storage a while back. This was maybe 6 months ago. I think Dan Lermer did a presentation on it at some conference or something. And it blew my mind. So if you guys are into EOS, I want you to go search, maybe on YouTube, search EOS storage, and it's going to blow your mind. Filecoin, storage, all those are going to have to move over. This is like on some next level stuff. And that's what I mean. Like this 12 just kind of reminded me, EOS is, he calls it the Earth operating system. It really will encompass a lot of things and be able to do a lot for you as a developer or as an organization. So I just thought I would drop that in there. EOS storage, check it out, guys. That's going to be coming soon as well, if not already available. I'm not sure if that's available. Someone in the chat rooms, let me know if that EOS storage is live. I don't think it is. All right, Nathan, I'm going to try to get you a UK number right now. In the meantime and in between time, I want you guys to call in 669-900-6833, and the code is 169-861-119. Give me a call. That's what it's for. So let me see really quickly if I can get Nathan a number. Not sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not sure how I can get you that number right now. I would suggest, what I suggest doing, Nathan, is doing a Google search for, what am I using here? Zoom. So do a Google search for UK Zoom numbers, and then you'll find one for UK, and then you just put in the code there, 169-861-119. I think that'll get you in. But again, guys, give me a call on the hotline. The other thing I was going to talk about today was, see if I can pull that up for us. The new research report out says that 55% of the world's Bitcoin is held in just 1% of the wallets. I can see that definitely. Satoshi probably is a large chunk of that. Bitcoin, it says here, is a pseudo-anonymous cryptocurrency. No, duh. Don't need to read that part. Let's read down further. Says, Dyer is the company that did the report. They say a currency analysis website said that they found that roughly 1% of the wallets hold 55% of all Bitcoins in the world. However, that's not the only curious thing the company discovered. Many wallets showed no transaction history, which is, that part, I'm pretty sure they're lost wallets. Most of those, I think. For the study, the wallets owned by whales that contain over 200 Bitcoin were considered investment wallets and represented over $1 million in worth. The company concluded that 42% of those wallets had no outgoing transactions during the price peak that happened in December of 2017. Now, I know the other day, I think yesterday actually, a whale moved some more Bitcoin out of a wallet. What do you guys think is going on? These whales are starting to move this money, this dormant Bitcoin. What are your theories on that? Do you think they know something? That every time I hear that, I'm thinking like, man, do they know something that I don't? It's kind of my paranoia on that subject. Like I'm always thinking that they know something that I don't, and they're selling Bitcoin before I get the information, but I don't know. What's going on, Miko? So Lawrence RBE says, CB, when do you believe Bitcoin will have maxed out in terms of production, and will price skyrocket once done? So I guess he's talking about the last coin mined. I think it's in like 21 something. We got a long time. But there is a halving coming up soon. I think in 2 years or so. But every halving, you're definitely going to see a doubling, at minimum a double in Bitcoin's price. Crypto Geek says 2141. That's correct. I knew it was 21 something. So in 2141, the last Bitcoin will have been mined. And at that point, it doesn't matter because I ain't going to be here. Next halving is in 2020. Thanks, Crypto Geek, for that. I've got my theories on that. I just don't see. I don't know, man. If human civilization is even here by in 2140, I think we'll be past Bitcoin at that point. I think these early cryptocurrency inventions are just transitional periods for us to move from the current capitalistic system we're in into something new. What that is, I have no clue. I don't know what that is, but that's what I think these cryptos are here for. You got to remember, think about this, and I thought about this last night. Cryptocurrencies, they're about 10 years old, right? 10 years old. This is the newest asset class that we've seen in 100, 200 years, 100 something years. So does anyone own the first stock that was traded? Probably not, right? It doesn't even exist. So that's how you can kind of think of Bitcoin and these early cryptocurrencies. And we all we're diehard fans and stuff. I think this is just new. We're so young in this space that we don't know what the future holds. So that's how I kind of look at it. It's so young These are all new experimental type of technologies that, anything is possible for the good and for the bad. So I don't know. So Nathan E says, very, very much agree, CB. Some of the cryptos are just here to see us through the impending financial transition. Yes, I agree. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. No, I didn't check that one out yet. Oh, Crypto Geek. I'm gonna have to check that out. So Doc of the Bay poses a good, interesting question or statement here. He says, CB, if XRP works at light speed, how will BTC remain popular? BTC, so XRP is not a threat to Bitcoin at all, because they serve as two totally different. I don't know. It looks like we have a caller here, guys. Give me 1 second. Or at least we did have a caller. If you guys, whoever just called, make sure you guys call back in. I had my window minimized, so give me a call back if you don't mind. So yeah, the XRP is not even competition for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is finite in supply. Is somewhat decentralized, way more decentralized than XRP. And XRP is going to be used for moving money for the current banking system. So I don't see XRP even being something you can compare Bitcoin or any of the other Litecoins to be honest with you. What's up, Minho? How are you? So let's see, we got a caller on the line now finally. Sorry about that. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I had that window minimized there. How are you?
What's up, Crypto Blood? Steve.
Steve, oh, what's going on, brother?
So on the Drudge Report today, for you people that don't know what the Drudge Report is, it's up there. It's up there with one of the top websites. It's one of the top websites I visited in the world. Some months it's it's number 1, 2, or 3 for websites visited. So like earlier on today, their main story was from Tim Berners-Lee, and he is launching a new decentralized platform, and his mission is obviously to take back the internet, which he helped to create. And that was their head story, which is, as far as I'm concerned, that is the biggest platform that has been reached for a blockchain decentralization maybe ever. I mean, that's a website where I think it gets, each month it gets billions of clicks. So
what's
Tim Berners? Yeah, Tim Berners-Lee. He also wrote a Medium post too, and he's been working with MIT, and he's launching something called Interrupt, and it's basically a decentralized a web platform, and he specifically talks about taking back your power from Facebook, Amazon, and Google, and the whole point of it is that you are going to own your own data. And he's been working in stealth for 9 months, and I guess he just released it. And I think it's going to launch this week. And let's see, I got the article up here. Let me.
Yeah, I've got it from Fast Company.
Yes, that was the one that was on Drudge Report.
Yeah.
And it says in here, a Netscape for today's internet. So he obviously does not like the way that the direction of the internet is going, obviously, with all the power consolidated, which is obviously the point of decentralization.
Right.
But so that made some pretty big waves today.
Let's see
besides politics,
let's see if I can pull
you don't
that
see
up
too many
really
stories
quickly.
on Drudge like that.
Right. Let me see if
He's
I
got a
can
Medium
pull that
post
up.
too.
So here's a Drudge report on not Drudge but Fast Money report on it. If you guys look at the screen now, Tim Berners-Lee tells us his radical new plan to upend the World Wide Web. With an ambitious decentralized platform, the father of the web hopes it's game on for corporate tech giants like Facebook and Google. Here's the thing, like there's so many people coming out with these theories and these great ideas. At this point, it really just reminds me of the internet boom, the .com boom. Like there are so many good ideas and only one or two will actually make it through. Only one or two will catch fire and hit critical mass, and that's all we need is just one to hit critical mass, and then that one will be used indefinitely, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that this is like the end all be all about like the fact that earlier today, like this was listed as a top story. It's no longer the top story, but like that means that they prioritized it, and they see it as a big deal. So I mean, obviously, like as we know, like the writing's on the wall, but this is the trend. Like this is where we're going. Just in the meantime, like we have to, for people who are censored on social media and all that,
because we just had another hack with Facebook, like 50 million accounts compromised. It's crazy. Crazy, man.
Yeah.
This happened like 2 days ago.
I have a Facebook. I don't really use it. I mean, I have a daughter, so it's the easiest way to share pictures with family and stuff like that. But I don't use Facebook. I mean, once a month. I don't even want to have one, really. It's just I don't like their political views. I don't like all big tech. I mean, they're clearly censoring.
Absolutely.
Standard like right wing. Ideas, not even like right wing, like even just like a pro-American and like libertarian point of views, which is sad because that's the fundamentals of America. But
what do you think about? What do you think? I know it's a very touchy subject. What do you think about Brett Kavanaugh in that situation?
Well, he was in the Bush White House, so he was involved with the nuclear codes. So in order to be involved with the nuclear codes, the FBI
been
literally
cleared.
He's
been cleared like many times. He's
not only been cleared, he being a federal judge is very high level, obviously. But like when you get into the White House and you have a certain classification listing, they literally go and talk to almost every person you've ever met. So I find it very suspicious. Now, according to the media, you're guilty first, and you have to prove your innocence.
Yeah, you're guilty until proven innocent. Right. It's the other way around.
Right. And that is a fundamental, un-American concept, which, goes along with big tech, too, like that they're shoving down our throats. So, like, if you look at, and I don't care what political spectrum you are, like that's your business. But like if you look at their statements before, they were going to try to stop him like at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
They think the Supreme Court, like is the end all be all, right?
Right.
So like, there's nothing more important to them than stopping this nomination, right? And like they can't do it on the merits, and it's very suspicious that all of a sudden, he did this, he did that. And she has not even one witness, not only saying that they don't know, saying that they deny her account. So like they leaked this information. She wanted to be private. It seems like something did happen to her, but eyewitness testimony is the most flawed testimony that there is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically worthless, right?
Yeah, 30 years ago,
People's memory.
30 years ago. No, more than that, right? It was like
36 years ago.
36,
like we're about like 36
bro,
years ago. So
I'm
1982.
I'm 33 years old. I don't remember stuff from when I was 5 years old. So I just, man.
An accusation like this is like you cannot prove it. There's no way to prove it.
She didn't go to the
So
doctor
it is a
right
he
away.
said, she
Right.
said. Right. So I mean, you know, this is where like American politics is at. It's pretty disgusting.
It is.
I mean,
and I've been watching Chris Hedges. Do you know who Chris Hedges is?
I don't believe so.
Okay, he's an author, brilliant dude, and man, our the state of America, man, it's a sad situation where we are right now. It really is. But hold your thought, man. Hold your thought, Steve. I got someone else on the line. I just want to make sure I get them in, and we can continue this conversation. 1 second. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood.
Yo, Crypto Blood. Yo, this is Mark. I'm calling in from Victoria, Canada.
Oh, what's going on, A?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, politics down the States is crazy, man.
It's getting horrible, bro. Like, I don't know. I feel like people don't even see it though. Like the masses don't see it all just crumbling down. All the infighting between the Democrats and Republicans. And then, you know, we got Trump in office, and I think the whole Trump being in office is America being fed up with what we've had for the last 20, 30 years. You know? And it's an outlash to say, hey, you know, we're sick of the you know, what we always get. Let's do something different. So I don't know, man. What did you want to talk about, though?
Oh yeah, I was just calling in to talk about some smart contracts and the application to the real world, as far as I see it.
Okay, so what's your favorite smart contract platform, blockchain protocol? What are you looking at? What are you most excited about?
You know, I got my hands in all of them. I see the benefits to them all, so I'm all agnostic on it all. I love following all the different things happening, but the application of location technology with smart contracts is where I'm focused.
Okay, so what is there a particular chain?
Again, agnostic in the same way. So there's 3 GPS location projects on the blockchain right now. One is out of California. It's called XYO Network.
Okay.
And they started from like a Kickstarter project for those GPS or Bluetooth finders for your keys.
Yep.
So they did a whole token sale this year, and I think they have 16 billion tokens. And I think they're at 0.3 of a cent right now. Okay. But and then you got out of New York, you got this company called Foam.space, and they're more about curating a map, and that's specifically to Ethereum. Versus XYO out of California, they have agnostic application for use cases with FedEx and all that.
Nice.
And then you have Platin.io, and they're out of I think Israel, and they're more on the angle of using GPS to, if you're gonna give money to a nation, say a state of emergency, and you want to donate money with GPS proof of location. You could actually verify if someone's in the country, and the aid will go right to them. So that's Platin.io.
So let me ask you this, man. And this was asked at the Litecoin summit I was at. I think, was it on the panel? It may have been just the little impromptu like panel or conversation we had, fireside chat we had in at the Litecoin Summit, and it was asked, like, is Bitcoin or blockchain? Which one is it going to be? When I say Bitcoin, I mean, of course, Bitcoin, but also like Litecoin, all the cryptocurrencies. Or is it blockchain? Which is going to be the future in this space?
I think, well, you know, currency is good, store of value is great, but what's the value. I think if we're going to a ledger system, what ledger is holding the most important data? And so whatever blockchain it'll be multiple on all these different platforms. But I mean, if you're curating data about certain physical locations, in my opinion, that's the most important data, because now you're linking a specific database of the world that's public, and people could essentially own different spaces and rent out spaces. So
Right.
I don't know. I'm forward thinking with space related to the blockchain. Physical
Yeah, that was
location.
that was my answer. I feel like blockchain is much bigger than crypto.
Yeah.
You know what I
Huge.
mean? It's almost like blockchain encompasses crypto. It's the universe of everything else. So, I think the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years are going to be just extraordinarily amazing to see how much blockchain disrupts just various things that we do and take for granted today. It's going to be different,
Totally.
man.
The game theory on, say, curating a map where you have a point of interest. Say someone wants the Washington D.C. point, you can own like Washington D.C., the White House, say, and but it's a competition who produces the best information for that data. And so you put in a stake on, I declare this is the best data about the White House, and then people can challenge you. People vote on that, and then you're getting on that specific blockchain, Foam in this instance, you'd be having a database of very objective truths from a consensus of people. And so now we're bringing in, consensus of reality into the blockchain space eventually. So 5 to 10 years, I definitely see it, but no one's going to see what's coming for a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. What are your thoughts end of the year Bitcoin price?
Bitcoin.
It's superficial, but I'm just wondering.
Price, yeah. I listen to all the same channels that anybody who listens to your channel listens to. So from whatever theories or predictions that people have thrown out into the space, my brain just links into having that manifest. So I don't know, maybe, I'd say I'm hopeful for around 10,000 before the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds that's realistic.
Yeah.
That's
realistic
right.
for sure. But what was it? I think Silvertooth dropped a video the other day, and he was like speaking about a warning to people.
I love that video.
Yeah, I think that was spot on, and we could see some crazy pump and then huge drop. Who knows? But
I dropped that in the web bot room the other day too, for people to check that Silvertooth video out. That was dope, man. That was dope. I think we gotta. It's not. You can't predict, via psychic readings and all this stuff. Like, you don't know this thing, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying. We're in such early stages in the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Hell, none of them may not be here in 10 years. It may be a whole new set of cryptocurrencies. Yep. Like, we don't know which one is going to actually take off. I believe personally that Bitcoin will be here. But in what capacity, I have no clue, but we shall see, man. This is a new asset class. We haven't seen a new asset class in over 100 years.
Totally.
So
that's huge.
That puts it in perspective. It's been like 200,
I remember
100 and something years. First equity. I have to do a search, but I don't know when the first equity is, at least the U.S. 100 and some change.
Yeah. What was that? Lloyd's of London before they started sailing people over to the New World, and they're doing slave ships, and they're putting insurance policies on slave ships. Mm-hmm. I think that was Lloyd's of London.
That's Lloyd's of London.
1500.
Yeah. Lloyd's of London.
And I don't know if that was a new asset class at that time, because right around 1666, they're dealing with people's estates and land, and whether or not it reverts back to the king or not. Mm-hmm. So I don't know at what point they started assigning these asset classes for the insurance policies, I think. Yeah,
that's an asset class. That's an asset class. Bonds Bond's been around for, I think, since ancient times, I believe. But yeah, that puts it in perspective though for people. Like they want the world tomorrow with this crypto stuff, and it's only 10 years old. It's only 10 years old. So we got a long way to go, a long way to mature, and we'll see what happens, man.
Well, yeah, man. Thanks for the call. Thanks for doing your live chat. Keep 6, man.
All right, bro. Thanks. Caller, I got you back on the line. Steve-O?
CB, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Who's calling in? I thought this was Steve.
I tell you, it's Nathan from the UK.
Nate, what's going on? Thanks, man. You finally got in.
Finally got here, man. Finally got here.
Oh, man. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to, for that hard earned, you earned and at least we're going to give you a clap. We're going to give you a clap there for that one, bro. Yeah.
Thanks,
did it
man.
take you a long time to find
the number? Man. You know what? I tell you, literally, basically, I was outside. I was doing something. I set the reminder on my phone for obviously you were going to be on later, and I totally forgot. And I literally just was flicking through my phone and then saw that he was on, and I thought, you know what it is? Let me just jump on really quickly and try and see if I can catch you, so I can
no doubt
call in and show people that you've got overseas supporters as well.
Drop that number for Minho so he can call in. He's in the UK too. If you can drop that number in the chat room when you get off, that'd be great. Maybe he wants to call in.
Okay.
But man, what's good, man? What do you want to discuss?
I tell you what, basically, I tell you what, Crypto Blood. What I personally think is this. I think that what I've got to say, it might be a little bit contentious.
I don't care.
But I personally think that Bitcoin is being hijacked.
Okay.
I think it's being hijacked by the financial institutions and the elite of the world.
Sure.
I think that over the next several years, I think that what it is, the Bitcoin will literally move from the small amount of retail investors that literally have it over to literally the financial institutions and the elite of the world. I say that simply because of in 2017, literally I was so hopeful for what crypto was. Literally what it could do and how it could actually free just the everyday man out of just free them from the bonds of literally this. I mean, what these financial institutions have had us in for several hundred years.
Correct.
Over the course of 2018, it has literally showed me how powerful these elite and financial institutions are. The reason why I say that is this. Over the course of 2018, we've seen how they've systematically and psychologically destroyed Bitcoin, because Bitcoin still has the same value as it does in 2017. And it was the retail investor that literally led the run-up in 2017 of Bitcoin. Why is it that really and truly that people still aren't holding their Bitcoin now? It's literally through the futures market, which the financial institutions control, through the media, through the blocking of advertising, and obviously through just the up and down price of literally Bitcoin. 1 minute it goes up, the next minute it goes down, and through that it drags down all the other cryptos as well. The fact of the matter is, psychological studies were done, and the attachment that we literally have to money. When we literally lose large amounts of money, it says that the pain receptors in the brain that we have for when we feel actually physical pain, literally trigger when we lose large amounts of money. That is how much money literally means to us.
Absolutely, and on the way up too. If you gain money on a trade, it releases those dopamine chemicals in your brain. Yeah.
That is it. And what I say is the elites of the world, they know this. Psychologically, if they want to make us go right, we go right. If they want to make the majority of people go left, they go left. And what Bitcoin and crypto means to the small subset of obviously your followers, when I say small, I mean like in comparison to literally the masses of people that are in the world. We believe in it and we understand what it means, and we have that that hodler mentality. As you said, when you got into crypto, it was one way in.
It was one way in, baby. Yeah, no way out. That's a hodl.
Exactly. That's the true meaning of it. Yeah. That's the true meaning of hodling.
Right. But people still hodl today for sure. They believe in the concept. They believe in the technology. But let me just interject right there. And I agree with you about 85, 90%. I really do. The thing is, bro, I think like they are taking it over. It hasn't been, I guess you can say it's been hijacked at this point, Bitcoin. But I just remember when Bitcoin, when I got into,
it's on the way.
It's in the process of being hijacked.
Yep. It's in the process.
Yep. Because it was all about being a hybrid new asset class where it could be an asset as a digital asset, and it could be money at the same time, and it can be a smart contract. You know, at some point in the future, you know, the smart thinkers at that time were already thinking about smart contracts and how to create apps or dApps on top of Bitcoin. Yeah. So it was supposed to be like a three-headed type of monster that was going to transition us out of what we had just seen in 2008/9 with the financial crisis. So it's so far from what that was that I understand a lot of what those Bitcoin Cash individuals, the pain and the disbelief of what Bitcoin has become today, because I was there. I've seen it transition to what it was then to what it is now, and it's night and day. It's not the same thing at all.
CV, you know what it is? Even in bringing up the whole Bitcoin Cash situation, I listen to obviously a lot of different YouTubers and everything else, and obviously some of them that go on and they say, well, I support Bitcoin, and I think that all other cryptocurrencies are trash, or I think that Bitcoin Cash is trash, or whatever it is, or XRP, Ripple is rubbish, or it's a banker coin. The way I see it is this: it's all part of like the whole cryptosphere. It's all part of the cryptoverse. All of these cryptos,
exactly,
whether they're banker coins, whether they're decentralized or centralized, and the fact that one crypto, whether it's XRP, whether it's Electronium, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, is literally doing well and has a product that literally is that people can use in the market, a real world product. I think that literally in the crypto space, we should be supporting that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that literally if it goes against your morals, then literally, obviously to promote XRP as a banker coin or anything else. But what I am saying is that people have to be pragmatic. I don't think that anyone has enough money to the point of where, well, maybe a few people do, but the majority of us literally don't have enough money to where literally we can say, you know what it is, I'm going to pass up this opportunity, to tell you the truth, to put money in my pocket, even though the majority of us who have hodled since 2017 are massively below, our portfolios are massively below literally breaking even, to literally make some money off of it. At the end of the day, if you don't believe in XRP, use it. Obviously trade it to make money. So at the end of the day, you can invest it in your Bitcoin or your Litecoin or your Ethereum if that's what you believe in. But then at the end of the day, what I always say is that it's an opportunity right now. None of us are going to get this opportunity again. What's happening right now, I truly believe, and as you know as well,
you're right.
We're at a point.
Yeah, this is a new asset class. Yeah, so at the beginning of a new asset class, we probably won't see another asset class be created for 100. We may be dead, right? So you're right. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I see what you're saying about XRP. If people want to trade it to make more coins or make more money to do other things in the crypto space, I guess that's up to them. And you'll have to make that decision. And I wouldn't be mad at a person if they decided to play it that way. I really wouldn't. To each his own. To each his own.
That's it. Just as you said, to each his own. And it's just about taking a pragmatic approach to obviously the crypto markets, and that while obviously you promote what you believe in as well. Yeah. My whole thing with XRP is just that why it's dangerous to me, Nate, is because
we are at the beginning of this new industry, and you have most of the people still, like I was talking to my boy, I said, bro, you take 20 people randomly on the street, I can say with almost confident, like 100% confidence, that they do not have Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. You take 20 people, they don't have. So cryptocurrencies is such a small sector, a small space. We got so far to go, and so what I mean by that is I'm scared that people will conflate Ripple with cryptocurrencies and make that one and the same, and they're not. You know what I mean? That's my fear, and I feel like people will end up going to Ripple. And I've actually seen professionals, I've done talks with different people around the city, and doctors, lawyers, very intelligent individuals, and all they had was Ripple. And this was like in 2017, right? All they had was Ripple. And I'm just shaking my head like, yo, like, no, this is not, you need to be in some real cryptocurrencies. So that's my thing, man. I'm just scared that.
But then, CV, you see the thing, and you know what it is. I totally agree with what you're saying, because when I was getting involved in this, literally initially, and in 2017, when I got my family, my friends, and everyone else involved in it as well, I was telling them the same thing. You know what it is? Don't get involved in this Ripple. At the end of the day, it's a bank coin. explain to them the reasons, and obviously the intricacies between centralization and decentralized coins. And literally, for a lot of people, don't forget, it's that. And for a lot of people, it's about simplicity. And when we obviously, as crypto enthusiasts, when we start breaking down to people the differences between decentralized and centralized and bankers' coins and whatever, literally to them, all it is. I mean, it's hard enough. Literally them trying to purchase altcoins and realizing that they can't just spend their fiat for altcoins. I mean, when we start breaking down to them, obviously the fact that there were good coins and there were bad coins, and that there's decentralized and centralized, but then on the news they're seeing literally XRP being pumped. It creates that analysis paralysis.
Sure.
And this is also what we as influencers and people that literally are specialized in crypto out of our sphere of influence have to be considerate about as well. At the end of the day, as you said, I think that in fact what I try to do is that, let's just say someone has $1,000, $10,000. I tell them, you know what it is? Literally, these are the top 10. Basically, with Bitcoin, you've got your large caps, you've got your medium caps, and then obviously you've got your small caps. I would tell them to obviously put your majority of your money in your large caps.
Sure. Your medium caps, you can
maybe get a couple, and then obviously your small caps are obviously your riskier assets, just so that they understand it that way. But then I think that and naturally, once they start making money, it's a positive experience for them. So then they want to know more. In 2017, when people saw literally their bank accounts literally go from $1,000 that they put in to $2,000 to $3,000, all of a sudden they were thinking, well, hold on a minute, what is this? What is this crypto? And then they start coming back to you, and that's when obviously we can teach them about literally the differences and other things, because now they want to actually learn. Whereas in the beginning, when we're trying to literally just give them all this information, it's like, well, hold on a minute, with my fiat, literally, and then it buys me everything, I think I'll just stick to this then.
Right.
And don't forget, with 2018, what has literally occurred, a lot of people have literally sworn off of crypto. For the small amount of retail investors that are still holding, how many of them do you think, when Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum reaches literally the point that they got in, are going to sell off?
Yeah.
And be happy that they broke even and didn't lose any money.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I tell people. The only way that obviously these financial services, the elites, they can obviously get your Bitcoin is literally through either fear or greed. They make you feel so much fear that you sell it, or they'll literally pump the market. People break even, they sell it, and then literally they accumulate it that way.
Or the third way is that they give you convenient means of storing your Bitcoin, right? Custodial accounts. That's what's next.
That's the other thing as well. But then, and you know what it is, I thoroughly agree. I think that you mentioned it or someone else mentioned it, that just as you said, in accumulating the Bitcoin and everything else, don't forget, Bitcoin runs on literally a consensus mechanism. Mm-hmm. When they control these large pools of Bitcoin, for any hard forks that need to be made or any forks or whatever it is, who has the biggest say now?
Mm-hmm.
So then does it truly make it literally decentralized if the majority or the largest holders of Bitcoin are these custodial services?
No, but that's what they want. And that's what I mean. Like, we agree. I think we agree definitely. Like, this is the trend. Like, the takeover is happening right be in front of our eyes. I
thoroughly agree with you.
Yeah.
And the majority of people are literally missing it. And I think that, just as you said, this is what needs to be pushed out there, so that literally, so really, the majority of obviously the followers on YouTube and Facebook and everything else, that they realize this, because this is the biggest issue. And I think that when you boil it all down, it will come down to this. It will come down to decentralized cryptos and centralized. I truly believe that what it is, as you said, in this next run up, this next bull run, it will be the institutional money that will be in there. We saw how fast it could run up on retail money.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows how fast it might run up on institutional money.
I don't think it's gonna run. It should run up as faster than it did with the retail in 2017. But what's gonna happen is the finance guys, they're gonna do a lot of OTC.
Yeah.
So you won't hit the markets, and you won't be able to benefit from it. You get what I'm saying?
As you said, you know what it is. I agree with that, because then I've spoken to a lot of people, and they've said to me that literally it's the OTC markets where these people are accumulating their Bitcoin and everything else. In my mind, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but Bitcoin is at let's just call it 6K, between 6 and 7K. We all know that Bitcoin is going up. Anyone that has been in the game for literally a long time knows the potential of Bitcoin and the use case of Bitcoin and the value of Bitcoin. Why would you sell your Bitcoin off for your large amounts of Bitcoin at 6K?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, it just doesn't make practical business sense. But again, as you said, maybe there is some bigger plot or something else going on that really and truly we don't understand. But as I said before, literally when I messaged you earlier, I think that literally there's a lot of moves being made. A lot of these financial institutions, they are positioning themselves. They know what's coming, and we know that this wealth transfer, to say the truth, literally the catalyst for it is literally the crumbling of the financial system. Mm-hmm. And when I say how fast Bitcoin can run and how fast the cryptocurrencies can run, we could obviously, we know that this financial system is on borrowed time. So from that perspective, that's the perspective that I take when I say that. In a controlled environment, as you said, literally they could step it up. Mm-hmm. But then all it takes is just literally a catalyst. And all of a sudden, we could be looking at
Black Swan. That's Black Swan event can occur at any point, and yeah, we can go, hyperbolic or parabolic with the price move for sure. Well, man, I got two other people in queue, bro. Thank you so much for calling in. Definitely call in again, bro. I had a great time.
That's all right, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
Crypto Blood and Steve. If you want to hit that other dude, go ahead.
No,
I want to talk about what that.
No, he dropped off. Unfortunately, he dropped off right when I was ending with Nate from the UK. So we're good to go for now.
Well, the moral of the story is don't be a quitter. You stay on the line, okay?
Right. Right.
I have to somewhat disagree with the last caller there.
Okay. Let me hear your thoughts.
Financialization is inevitable, right? It is. A Bitcoin is a network, and that is part of the network effect. There are many people, even if they fully understand decentralized technology, are going to opt to have someone hold it for them. There is no way, not no way, but all these multimillionaires who are used to this financial system currently are more comfortable with big institutions holding it, than themselves. So I don't think, that's not going to change the fundamentals of Bitcoin, right? Because while they will try to offer derivatives, one fork would absolutely destroy that. So it's neither people allow their forks to go to the institution, because I'm pretty sure that the ETF contracts. I listened to Caitlin Long, if you know who Caitlin Long is.
No, not familiar with her.
Okay. Caitlin Long did a podcast with Trace Mayer, and Caitlin Long also did one with Adam Meister and Andy Hoffman. She used to work for, Morgan Stanley. She is entrenched in the financial system. So she has a very high-level point of view on this. I know she talked to the SEC and people that work there, and she's just entrenched, in the financial system, okay. Along with Bitcoin. I recommend everyone listen to her. She's a very intelligent lady. But yeah, they've done some pretty high-level conversations about, what's going to come from financialization. And sure, there are some, bad aspects, but A, it's unavoidable, and B, it doesn't change the fundamentals of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy your Bitcoin from them. Just because they hold it, they're not going to buy it just to sell it off and hold Bitcoin down. No, you should be happy that they're buying it because they want to bring people into it. And that's the only way to bring a large percentage of wealthy people into it right now.
Right, but here's my thing, Steve. The premise and the core principles of Bitcoin was to have and have control of your own private keys, and to not allow any other entity to come and seize or freeze your assets. So when we start getting really relaxed with allowing these institutions to hold our Bitcoin and cryptos, it's the same thing over again in a new way, as I always say. So they're going to be able to say, okay, I see how many X percentage of the deposits that we have here in cryptocurrencies never move. So I can rehypothecate and loan Bitcoin to, it's the same system over again if we're not careful with it. That's all I'm saying. We have to be very careful.
Right, but people are not going to switch from a full centralization to full decentralization, especially when you're talking about these big fish. God knows what kind of money we're talking about here, but I see that as a slow process. Kind of like when cell phones first came out. Well, a lot of people still had a house phone for a long time, right? And now, I don't know how many years it's been later, slowly, your bank account and old centralized things and the old way of doing things will fade away. But, the old people with money, they're just not going to be yes, I'm going to hold my private keys in my safe in my head. I have dementia. I hope I don't forget. You know what I mean? A, it's unavoidable. I think we can agree on that. And B, it doesn't change the fundamentals of Bitcoin. You can't force people to be smart enough. Well, you're going to have these people. You're just going to.
Yeah, you are, no doubt. But
that's their loss, though.
No,
there's no stopping it. But it doesn't change me from holding my Bitcoin. So, and then. when he was talking about like other coins there, I think I asked you last time. I don't see too many use cases. So for decentralization, I mean, like if you want to talk about like a centralized layer, like that's fine. So like Bitcoin is going to be a Bitcoin. Like it makes more sense like for Bitcoin, in my opinion, currently where we're at right now, to be a store of value and to be your savings account. And then like you're going to have, like you said multiple times, these stable coins are going to be, like your day-to-day spenders. I don't see the point of Ripple. The banks can make their own, system without Ripple. Why do they need to give you a token?
Well, I see the point of Ripple. And it's
I see the point from their point of view, but
yeah, you're saying you don't see it from the bank. You don't see why the banks need Ripple. Is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is the Ripple system. Why couldn't in due time the banks develop a private blockchain just for themselves to transfer values? Like, why do they need Ripple? I don't think they need Ripple. I think Ripple's already complete, and it's easy for them to stay relevant. Because time is of the essence right now, and that's why they are rushing to do this.
So why
do they have their own YouTube channel?
Why do you think they're getting so many signups then? So many banks joining their whole infrastructure network. Shalom Dunn says that banks already have their own blockchains. They do not need Ripple. He agrees with you, Steve.
Well, I'll take it back a step. Like there's a YouTube channel called Fed Payments. What's the name of it? Faster Payments or something like that, or Fed Faster Payments, and it's all about like the federal bank just having a bromance with Ripple. Like that's all it is, right? So like they are definitely implementing like I believe it's X Rapid, but that's like a Western Union getting like their own like blockchain. Like what's the point of it? Like they're trying to say what they don't want to do is to be too far behind, right? So, like in the meantime, like they have like this system, but the system doesn't make sense for me and you to own it. Like, why does it make sense? I'm like, why can't like the banks just do what they're doing and transfer, their own value a lot faster? Cause that's the whole point of it, from their point of view, right? And they maintain control. So, I'm not 100% like a maximalist. I just don't see all these use cases. I mean, Bitcoin, a decentralized use case of your own money that you can store, that makes sense. But Ripple, it makes sense for the banks to own it. I don't see the value. Like, if you could tell me, I just don't see the value at all.
I don't know, man. I don't want to speak on it too much because I don't know enough about their whole system. Just very high level stuff.
Well, it's not just them though. Like it's not just them. Like it comes down to Bitcoin is a monetary asset. Like it's a financial tool. So besides holding your own keys, which obviously Bitcoin can do, and anything can do, and sending a value borderless, right? So like all these other ones that are kind of doing the same thing, like even Litecoin, right? It's irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. I don't see the point of it.
Yeah, no, like a lot of these coins, you're right. So you really only need one well, you're not gonna have one. I wouldn't say that. You're gonna need multiple. You'll have multiple for a market to work. There has to be multiple.
You will.
You have to have multiple counterparties, right? But what I'm saying is, you only have a handful of those cryptocurrencies, and you really only need one stable coin. But I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna pan out.
Well, no one knows how it's gonna pan out. But like what I'm saying is, people talk about like all these coins like as if they actually have a use, and I just don't think they do. Like it's kind of winner take all. I mean, silver and gold are not like too much far apart. All right, they're really not. But only one of them is worth a lot, and one is worth a little.
Well, no. See, when that and so that's another thing that I think people make the mistake of conflating precious metals and cryptocurrencies. Again, new asset class. We can't take we can't compare precious metals to.
Well, that's just an example, though. Like I'm making the point.
So what I'm saying is with the silver gold thing, the reason why gold has more value, perceived value in the market is because we think there's less gold above and below ground for us to get, whereas silver is more abundant, right? So that's why the perceived value is $14 for silver an ounce versus wherever gold is, $1,200. Where's gold at now? I haven't looked at a gold price in forever.
I haven't either. Like I think, like I want to say like 1,200.
Okay.
I think you might 1,100. Somewhere in there.
Yeah. So look.
I'm not really trying to go hard on like precious metals, but
Eric in the listen to this. Eric in the chat room said, Caitlin Long, she suggests if Wall Street rehypothecated Bitcoin, we can just hard fork, and that's true.
Right.
That is very true. That is very true.
She talks about, like in the contract that are in front of the SEC for the ETFs. They don't even have that like settled in the contract. Like they don't even like mention it. So like they're not even really prepared. I guess like custody's not even really talked about either. Like how they're gonna like store it and stuff. So like I think they're rushing these out there, obviously, the ETFs. But
you think we're gonna get it past end of the year or next year?
Well, that's a tricky question. Do I think it should be passed quickly? No. Do I think it will be passed somewhat quickly? Most likely, yes. But probably not like till next year. They don't have all this stuff figured out. I mean, the FCC is talking about the FCC is talking about trying to know, price discovery on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay. Like price discovery in cryptocurrencies is just your guess is as good as mine what they're worth. Like you know what I mean. But like that comes down to the network effect, I think. So Bitcoin, like I said before, and the gambling industry are in my mind, and like I'd like to hear people like elaborate on this. Are the only two things I can see that actually need like to be like decentralized, like pure decentralization.
You said gambling and what's the other industry?
Well, the casino industry, obviously, like gambling, online gambling, like that is a system where it's full of deception. No one trusts it, right? Right? And
yeah, that's a good
money.
one. Money, yeah, so, like, those two, yeah. But then you've got stuff like
those two. I don't know.
Well, you definitely want to have the internet decentralized, right? You want to have the ability for you to put up your information, whatever it is, whether it's hate speech or not, truth or not. You want to be able to have that information stored in a decentralized manner so that
I don't necessarily totally agree with that. Yes, I do, and no, I don't want censorship. But when you start getting like kiddie porn up there, or like kiddie, someone has a decentralized social media and someone puts kiddie porn up there, no one's going to be comfortable with that. No one's going to want to see that. Everyone's going to want that taken down. That poses a major problem.
You make a good point. So we can't be. So you're saying is we're being kind of what's the word? Pollyanna with
loosey-goosey.
Yeah, we're being Pollyanna with it as far as thinking that we're going to be fully decentralized, because you're right. Like we can't be fully decentralized because we'll have those type of issues where you got kiddie porn or whatever.
No one wants to see that.
Right.
Literally, no one wants to see that.
Right.
And you're not going to be able to stop it. So when people say, we want, decentralized like social media, it's like, are you sure? because someone's gonna like post a picture cutting off someone's head, and there's no way to take it down. Or I mean, like you're gonna need a centralized layer for some of this stuff.
Well, and again, EOS. This is why I'm telling you, EOS is a perfect solution for that, because you can have the block producers vote on that. If there is something that's really out of line, they can take it away through ECAF, through that system.
Yeah.
And
so it has to be hard to send. We have to have a layer where it's very hard to censor, like only in like extreme circumstances.
Right.
Like full decentralization is, and
it's
again, I'd like to hear people like elaborate on
solution. This. Right. No, I hear you. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And Steve, I've said that before. I said that it's a gradient. It's not a binary thing like centralized, decentralized. No, we're gonna find over the years that we meet a balance somewhere. I think, of course, toward the decentralized side, but it's a gradient, man. And we're not. You're right. Being fully decentralized is not going to work in real world solutions. It's just not. Not
everywhere. It's not. So like you see all these things claiming like that they want to be decentralized. It's like, well, I don't think there's a need to, like an actual, people want, or a portion of people would like to know that their money is safe and it's not being controlled and centralized and all that.
So let me just cut you off, caller. I saw you in queue. If you want to call back, go ahead and give me a ring back so we can talk. I'll plug you right in. Go ahead, Steve.
All right, later.
No. Oh, you're good. No, they hung up again.
Guys, how many times do I got to tell you? Don't quit.
Oh, man. So what were you saying, though?
Yeah, so, I kind of lost my train of thought, but, I really wanted people, please tell me what needs to be decentralized, because, it's a conversation that people really don't, get in the weeds in, and it's I think a lot of coins off the back kind of go out the window.
Man, a lot will.
A lot of things.
Yeah, man. You're totally right. And I really started to realize this last year. Just kind of slowly wait a minute, Bitcoin is not what I, thought it was going to be. I have to change my thought process about stuff. I don't want to get stuck in a certain way and always be that way. So I'm changing the way I'm thinking about Bitcoin. I'm changing the way I'm thinking about cryptocurrencies in general. I'm changing the way, as you've stated, what decentralization truly looks like implemented in real world. And I think it's a happy medium. It's not going to be fully decentralized, as you stated.
No, it's just not. There's no way to do it after a lot of things properly, because there's going to be all kinds of problems, and then it's going to take years. We're talking about adoption. I mean, it's going to be a long process. That's why it's hard for me to have a lot of coins. I really scaled it back. I mean, I look at everything and it's even the best technology is not going to win. That's not what makes something win.
No, it's not. You're right. Because TCP/IP, IPv4 is not the best. IP6 is better. But once you get so many people, once you hit critical mass, then it's kind of hard to turn it back from that. You got to kind of build on top of it.
Also, your first call, we're talking about VERI and blowing the boat and all that. And Reggie's phenomenal, right? Reggie is a gem, and he's a genius. But that doesn't mean something is going to click.
Right. That's right. That's what they're going to go for. That's very true. Very true. And that goes for and that's what I want to just always continue to warn people. You can have everything aligned. Any project. This doesn't go just for VERI. This is any project. Everything aligned and it still not work. Again, you can just go back and look at history, look at the .com bubble. There were a lot of great ideas but it just didn't click. You know, the public didn't grab onto it, you know, like you needed it to. But
my advice for people like with their profile, you know,
no, it's not advice. You're not a financial advisor.
Well, I'm definitely not that.
Your opinion.
But yeah, well, right. Right. I see. I don't have to do this on a day in, day out basis. So I'm not used to saying that.
I know.
I would not go. The way I do it is, you know, once you have like a full Bitcoin, right? If a coin's going to take off and like become a big deal, we're so early that you don't need like you know, big bags full right now. Like you just don't.
No, them days are over,
spread
bro.
That out.
Them days are over.
Well, right, but I mean, if something like becomes like a true monster, like in the future, and is, you know, if one day, like Ethereum, like actually has like decentralized apps that people actually want to use, well, like you're not gonna, you know, like if it wins out, like you're not gonna need a ton of it, like to make money. Like if that's your purpose, like to make money, like, you're not gonna need a ton of it, right? Like you're not gonna need to spend, $10,000 on it right now. Like it's a big gamble. So I mean, like it's too hard to tell like what's gonna win, obviously, and what's gonna be around, because like. So I would just buy like a little bit of everything in little like denominations, but I do personally believe that the network effect of Bitcoin is greatly underestimated like by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it has, Bitcoin and Litecoin pretty close to the same thing, right? You know, except the amount of people obviously working on it. But it is the network that makes Bitcoin so valuable.
Right.
The larger the network, the more it's worth. It is, like the network effect. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that, like, and they just look at it and say, "Oh, well, like, this is the same thing. It can do the same things," but it doesn't have the network. They underestimate like the network effect of, these coins. The largest network is what's going to win, I think. So.
I got you, man. So I agree for the most part. I think the one main point you're driving home that I took from this is that decentralization is
it's a unicorn.
Well, it can't be fully decentralized in most cases. You gotta have some type of safety fallback type of mechanism in there. I agree.
Like that's what I was gonna say is. When people, first started out, everything was, decentralized, right? People wanted to be centralized, because they found like a certain level of security in centralization. So centralization is not all bad. Like it's just like when they like abuse power, like through censorship and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So there are benefits, to being centralized, and that's why like social media and stuff like that, it does need a layer of centralization, or things will get off the rails real quick.
Yeah, so like I said, man, you're gonna be able to I don't know as much about Cardano, Tron, Quantum, all those, but I'm assuming you could build dApps on top of those as well to do this. But I know it's for sure with EOS, you'll be able to, as a second layer, if you have like a social media dApp that you've created, you'll be able to have some control over that. Where things can be paused or rolled back within your app, within your dApp, and so that's why I think you're going to see solutions like that end up being what we see as decentralized in the future, and that's just life, man. And you can't be one extreme or the other. It's got to be some mixture of it.
No, I agree. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, man.
But you need like a happy medium of both of these.
So before you jump off though, I don't know if you're in front of your screen. Let me see if I can pull this up. Got a little something for you. We were talking about Brett Kavanaugh, and let's see if this plays.
You're Brett, right?
Correct.
I thought so.
I got into Yale Law School.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
It's the #1 law school in the country.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
I had no connections there. I got there by busting my tail.
Looks like me and Vincent caught you boys at breakfast. Sorry about that.
The headphones.
Did you have it?
Beer. I still like beer.
Oh, that's right.
You mind if I
like
have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Sometimes I had too many beers, but I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out, and I never sexually assaulted anyone.
Yes, you did! Yes, you did, Brett!
He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
I thought I would play that for you, Steve-O. I don't know if you were able to see that, but check it out later.
No, I wasn't.
All right, check it out later. So, man, thank you for calling in. As always, Steve, definitely call in next week. We'll talk some more.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All righty, brother. All right, guys, I've got about 3 minutes left. I don't know if someone wants to jump on for one last call. Hit me up, 669-900-6833. Man, the internet never sleeps, I tell you. Good callers today. Good callers today. Appreciate all of you guys. I want to give a shout out to the super chat individuals: Bill, Lil Trill Bot, and Mark Bilski. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Thank you for your tips today, guys. I appreciate it. So again, call in 669-900-6833 if you want to chat. I'll be taking one last call. If I don't get anything in the next 2 minutes, I'll wrap it up for episode number 10. Yeah. I really enjoy doing these things, guys. One last thing also, if you're interested in going to the World CryptoCon, that is October 31st through November 2nd at the Aria Hotel in Las Vegas, come check me out. You can go and buy a ticket at cryptoblood.io. But if you want to save 20% on your ticket, you can receive that promo code by buying a t-shirt or two. You can just buy a t-shirt or a hoodie, doesn't matter. And I'll send you the code to receive 20% off that ticket, cryptoblood.io. So it looks like we may end up just going ahead and wrapping up for today, guys. Someone did mention Zimbria, and Zimbria X is an EOS dApp that's being developed and launched soon here. And they're going to have, I think, one of the first decentralized email systems. That's great. That's going to be awesome. Check that out if you guys are interested in EOS. That's a dApp that I did know about, and I saw someone drop that in the chat room earlier, and I wanted to bring that up. But I think that's going to be it for today, ladies and gents. I again appreciate all of you guys. Oh, looks like we got a caller. Let me see who we got on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood, off the chain. What's good?
Yo, what's happening, man? Great show as always.
Thank you, sir.
It's a little Trillbot. And one thing I want to thank you for.
Bro. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for that tip.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. A ways back, you had Drew on from Archer Tax. And I just want to give you a shout, man, because that dude's awesome. Yeah,
I know Drew.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, no, it's because of you that I know him. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I'm just saying thanks.
That's
he's a
up,
good
man.
dude, man. He's really helped me out a lot. So
what did you take away from
with a business and stuff?
The videos today, man? Like any final thoughts since you're the last caller?
Oh yeah, I'll keep it quick. I think I wanted to mention that there's an EOS thing going around about supposedly Huboy abusing the voting rights with a couple of the block producers for kickbacks. I think Whale Panda tweeted something about it, and I started looking into it, but it's a little more technical than, but I mean, it seems like with 21 block producers, it would be at least decentralized enough, you would think, but Otherwise,
it may not be. But the thing is, what I want to see, one critical thing I want to see, me being critical about EOS, I want to see the block producers not be all on AWS servers and start. And I know EOS Tribe they've done this out the gate. EOS Tribe down in Dallas, they're not on the AWS. I want to see more BPs not be on the AWS, because that's a central point of failure, in my opinion. If the government wants to come in, they can squeeze Amazon and say, I want you to shut all these guys down, so
that's an interesting point. And I don't know too much about network architecture, but I'm sure that there's alternatives or whatever, like you're saying, to that AWS system, right? I mean, there's ways that they could ensure that. I think it's also interesting too, like with the Constitution or whatnot, the EOS, they have the Constitution, but it's kind of difficult to like we have a Constitution. We're not really, capable of enforcing it all that well. Here, it doesn't seem so anymore. So, I mean,
that's a lofty endeavor that EOS is going.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, man. If they can get governance, and there are other blockchains attempting to do this as well, governance on blockchain, man, that's going to be tough. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the DAO would be, like a decentralized organization, so yeah, no, it's exciting, but like I said, it's not going to be an easy task. One other thing I wanted to mention too was that you click on Coinbase now and they're offering that weighted, you can buy $20 worth of a weighted basket of currencies now, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's about it, man. Just want to say I always appreciate your work, man, and everything you contribute. Lastly, I will say too, you encouraged people a couple of months ago, and it wasn't financial advice or anything like that, but to maybe consider how their personal identity might be linked. Some of these accounts are old, so if your personal identity is closely linked to your online persona, your digital identity, and then out of laziness, you don't get around to kind of changing stuff. So yeah, I've started to like really decouple all of that stuff, because I think it's really good advice, and I've begun to implement that. So it's important, trying to protect ourselves as best we can.
That's right, man.
But that's it, man. I just wanted to call and say, hey, man, and just always appreciate the content.
Centralization versus decentralization. That's what Bill says.
I think that. Yeah, you know what? They make a great point, because obviously, you got something up there like what the other caller mentioned. You can't just leave it up there, right? I mean, that's a really, really difficult question, even for someone who's very libertarian,
Exactly.
But there are some things that it's not, there's just some things that civilized society can't and should not tolerate, and that is absolutely one of them. So
absolutely.
That's, yeah. I mean, the only other option, I guess, is to say that, hey, you don't have to participate in it, of course, but it's just you can't allow it. You'd have to use some sort of force or censorship, because we can't allow access to, what I mean? We can't in any way tacitly approve of people access to, what's obviously harming other people. It's a, violent crime, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a learning process that we're going to go through. I think people are starting to really realize. They thought in 2017, like, the rest of the world was going to be on blockchain by 2019, and it's just not. We're not even ready. Like the protocols and the dApps and stuff, they're not even ready for mass adoption. So how the hell could we expect the world to be on the blockchain? Right?
Some networks are really not at all. Right. I mean, you've talked a lot about the problems with Ethereum, and if you ever use it, I mean, sometimes it's very slow, and you've got to spend a lot of money. Not so much anymore, but when it was just insane. Man.
I'm going to show you really quickly. We got blocktivity.info up, and ETH is at full capacity, and ain't nobody using Ethereum. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Relatively speaking.
Yeah. Crypto kitties, are people still doing that? I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
what's going on?
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand.
Just spamming the network. Who knows? Not to be conspiracy theorist.
Vitalik said that there was spam. There's a lot, but that can't be you're gonna have that, right? You got to be able to handle that. So
yeah. You're not ready for the job.
EOS is my favorite, right? They're running at 0.09 capacity. But even EOS, it's not the capacity of EOS network. That's not my thing. It's the on-ramping of new individuals to the ecosystem. It's just simply not. People got to know how to use scatter or gray mass, or you know what I mean, to even get started.
Absolutely.
So again, we're so
Do you mind
far.
Yeah, I probably didn't mean to cut you off
Go
there.
ahead.
Yeah, no, we are early. I think Reggie said it too. We're in the first, not even the first inning of this thing yet, or whatever. But what EOS desktop client are you using, or wallet? Are you
I use gray mass?
Gray mask, yeah.
Yeah.
But just out of curiosity, which one you'd suggest?
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's a project I'm really excited about. I've been looking at Digibyte again more and accumulating a little bit of that again
Digibyte.
as well.
I like Digibyte.
Yeah, at these prices, it seems.
I like that.
I'm interested in this. I'm buying this.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's got the community really behind it too. You know,
right.
there's a strong community behind it, which, you know, that's a big deal. So, hey, right, man, I want to keep you, dude. Thanks so much for everything you do, you know, and it's like consistent. You're always, you know, I'm always looking for you, and every day there you are. I mean, there aren't too many days you don't miss. I think you had like 3 the other day, so that's a prodigious amount of content.
It is, man. It's tough, man.
Man.
It is definitely tough. It's not easy, but I appreciate
especially kids and the family and everything and all that.
I know. Yep. Yep. So I appreciate it, bro.
All right, buddy.
All right, take care.
Definitely.
All right, people. Shalom. You a fool. I'm gonna get with you next episode, and we'll talk about ETH versus EOS. We can have that be in a segment, and we can get it in. You need to call in though, bro. You can't be on that chat room with them Twitter fingers. I need you to call in. We're gonna have a talk, bro. It's your boy Crypto Blood. And that pretty much concludes this episode of Off the Chain. I really, really appreciate you guys. I had a great time today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel, click that bell as well. And yeah, I need you to click that like button, people, so we can get this bumped up a little bit. People need to hear this good conversation in the crypto space. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm out of here.